Hello everyone, my name is Christina Kozer, working with Jake Vassello. This is our intervention strategy for Blarney's retail store. This is for the Psych 640 class in the spring 2018. I'll begin by giving you a little background about myself. I was a paralegal for many years and have extensive experience with employment law and regulations. Over the last 4 years that I have worked as a coordinator in a hospital, I have successfully recruited, placed, and retained over 250 employees. I am also the head of the employee engagement team, ensuring that employees are engaged, feel valued, and satisfied with their work environment. I'll now give you a little background about our client. Blarney's is a retail store located in New York City. The store has been suffering from high turnover rates and low employee satisfaction scores. They also have a particular issue maintaining the sales team staff, which is why they contacted us for assistance. As you can see by this graph, the turnover rates by industry shows that retail trade has the highest turnover rate of 34.7%. That is relatively high compared to the other industries such as manufacturing, which only has 16% turnover rate. Our intervention overview. It is imperative for an organization to work as a team to succeed. Teams must maintain a commitment to the same goals, have strong leadership, and a commitment to a high standard of excellence. It is for this reason that we found that a team intervention was the most suitable intervention method for this company. Some of our empirical research. In a study done by Lee et al. 2016, they studied the impact of job satisfaction and job commitment on employee turnover rates. The results showed that employees' job satisfaction and commitment to their work impacts their desire to stay or leave a job. This shows us that we must maintain a positive work environment and encourage employee commitment to reduce turnover rates. There was another study done by Lee et al. In 2017. This study studied the impact of managerial support on frontline employees' desire to quit. The results of this study showed that managerial support of teams and employees greatly reduced the frontline employees' desire to leave. Also, trust among team members and across teams also reduced the turnover rate. This shows us that managers must be supportive of their employees, and teams must have trust among each member to obtain the team goals. Reddy, in 1994, stated that there are 3 problem areas in an organization that can benefit from intervention. Those problem areas are job duties, communication, and values. All 3 of these contribute to team building, which is why it is important to understand the issues in each area and create long-lasting changes in each team. Dyer in 1994 stated that signs that a team intervention is warranted are apathy towards the workplace and coworkers, ineffective staff meetings, and grievances from staff. This shows us that team survey results will show which areas we need to improve in this particular situation. Our intervention objectives. Some of our objectives for this intervention are to restructure the organization. All employees should feel engaged and valued in the organization, not just the management staff. We're also looking to increase the success and productivity of the company and reduce the employee turnover rates. How to keep happy employees. In order to keep happy employees and reduce the turnover rates, you need to engage your employees, avoid career burnout, communicate with employees, celebrate collective goals, praise individual strengths, offer competitive compensation and benefits, and screen for personalities that culturally fit your corporation. I'll now pass this on to my partner, Jake Vassello.
Hi everyone, my name is Jake Vassello and I am here to continue the rest of the presentation. As an undergraduate student, I successfully managed over 20 student-run organizations. I also spent a year studying turnover as well as how happiness and feeling like your work is meaningful affects workplace productivity. So the next step is a process overview, and the process all starts with contracting. The contract will be made and agreed upon 1 month prior to the start of the intervention. However, if there is a need, recontracting is always possible. The contract will be very specific. It will list all clients and their roles in the intervention. It will also it will also state when the intervention will be taking place. The intervention will be 6 weeks. The first 2 weeks will consist of gathering data. The following 2 weeks will consist of actually planning the intervention and breaking down that data. And the remaining 2 weeks will consist of us starting the intervention and also training management on how to continue the intervention after we are gone. So that is it with contracting. The next part of the overview is surveys. Every single employee will be taking an anonymous survey, and the surveys will be 20 questions that are basically a statement, and then you say how strongly you agree or disagree with it, and it will be rated on a scale of 1 to 5. The questions will be all questioning how happy they feel, how close to their employees they feel, and how meaningful their work seems to be. After this, Christina and I will pull out key themes from these surveys, which will be used to conduct diagnostic interviews with all employees. It is very difficult to keep interviews anonymous. However, to do our best bet, Christina and I will not be asking employees their names during the interviews. This will help employees feel like we are not reporting everything specifically to management, and hopefully we get more honest feedback. So after all that feedback is taken from both the diagnostic interviews and surveys, we will gather all the data and continue to pull out key themes. After this, we will create a strategy for the intervention and a strategy to train their staff on the intervention. So it's difficult to say exactly what the intervention will be without doing the survey itself. However, the main goal of the intervention is to improve turnover rates. This will most likely be done through changing the programs and the company culture and encouraging employees to feel close with their coworkers and feel like they're doing meaningful work. The data discovered from the analysis will be presented to the management team, and we will spend a week or two guiding the management team on implementing the intervention. After the intervention is done, which will most likely consist of some team building and maybe some policy and procedure changes, we will run through the team meetings to see how each team is doing with the new policies and procedures. Christina and I will meet with staff and the sales team to see how the changes are working, and we will perform routine performance reviews on both teams and management to see how each person think all the new changes are working. It is important after all this to evaluate the change. 6 months after the intervention, Christina and I will meet with the management team and we will review the initial objectives of the intervention and decide which variables and data to review and assess the progress and change of the intervention. So basically, it's 6 months should be enough time to break down the statistics and see if turnover rate is actually decreasing or not. Maybe there's seasonal changes, so there may be a necessity to stop by 6 months after that as well. And here are our references. Thank you very much for watching the presentation.